What's up, y'all? I want to welcome y'all back to 80 Cooks, and on the menu today is Salisbury steak, a real simple, quick, easy recipe. Okay guys, what we have in front of us is regular ground beef shaped into steaks or patties. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep this real simple. We're just going to use us a pepper and salt for our seasoning. Put a little salt. And we want to season on the other side as well. Okay, into a skillet, and I'm using my cast iron on this. You can use whatever skillet you want. I just prefer to use my cast iron today. What we have is olive oil, and we're going to go ahead and place our steaks or our patties in. Since I'm using this, I'm probably going to only be able to use 3 at a time. That's fine. What we want to attempt to do with this is we just want this to brown. So that's all we're looking for on this. So for about maybe, I'd say about maybe 3 minutes, we'll let these stay on this side and then we'll flip it over on the other side. Let's go ahead and flip these over. Okay guys, we're going to go ahead and pull these off, and these have browned pretty much to my liking. We're not trying to cook these again. All we're trying to do is get a nice crust on them. And that's why I opted for the cast iron skillet, so I can get a nice crust on these. I'm going to go ahead and put my other batch in. Okay, our last set of patties. And you do want to cook these until the blood is coming out. So when I say brown them, I do want them to be cooked a little bit. You don't want blood still coming out of them. So at this point, we're going to use the same pan that we're using. We're not cleaning anything out because we want all of that stuff at the bottom of the pan. So what we're going to do is throw our onions in. And we're just going to let these saute up, soften up a little bit, and that's about it. Okay, our onions are at the point where we want it. So right at this point, we want to go ahead and add us in. I'm going to do about 2 scoops or tablespoons of flour on this. And you want to stir this as you add each scoop, because we don't want to cause too much of this to clump up on us. And we'll add in another tablespoon of flour. And what we want to do, I think I'm going to add in a little half of a tablespoon on this. And what we want to do with this is we want this to brown. You see how it's kind of browning a little bit now for me? I want this to get a little darker. So what we're going to do is let our flour and our onions continue to cook down until we get a nice brown effect on this, to your liking though. I want it to be a little darker on mine. Okay guys, we went ahead and let our flour brown on us a little bit. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go in with a little beef stock. And if I need to add more, I'll add more. And what we want to do is we want to make sure we're degreasing or deglazing the bottom of that pan to get all of that good stuff, that caramelized goodness at the bottom of our cast iron skillet. And at this point, I'm also going to go in and put some garlic in. If you're not a garlic person, don't add it. And what we want to do is kind of bring this to a boil. So we'll just stir this and wait till this comes to a boil. This is also going to thicken up, so be careful what you do. And also at this point, you kind of want to do a little tasting. So I'll do a little tasting off camera to see if we need to add anything. But it looks like gravy. Everything is going to thicken up on us. Okay guys, once this is to a boil, we're also going to come in and I'm going to do probably about 3 tablespoons of beefy mushroom. I'm not really a mushroom type of guy, but I like a little mushroom in some of my food. And if you didn't see it, beef of mushroom is what we're adding into this. I added about 3 tablespoons of that in there. And at this point, we're going to continue to let this simmer down just a little bit. If your gravy gets a little bit too thick, you can always go in and add more water or more beef broth to it. Okay guys, we're almost there. I'm going to go ahead and add in a little bit of Worcestershire sauce. And you want to make sure you taste. I had to taste this before I added this to see if it needed some more salt to it, and I needed a little bit. I felt like it needed a little bit more salt, and the Worcestershire sauce will give it that. So we're going to go ahead and add our patties in, and all of them should fit in here. And at this point, what we want to do is just turn things down on low and cover this and let it cook for about maybe 15 to 20 minutes. Okay guys, Salisbury steak has been covered on low for about 15 to 20 minutes. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. Looks good, smells good. And this is the consistency of our gravy for our Salisbury steak. So this is done, y'all. We'll go ahead and turn this off and we'll plate it. Okay guys, Salisbury steak is plated and everything looks good. I really appreciate you all for taking the time tuning in. And like I said, this is a simple, easy meal that you can cook at home, better than the Salisbury steak in the box. Doesn't take long, doesn't really take a lot of time. Just a little prepping here and there, but this is an amazing meal. I hope you all enjoy. If you try this, you pair Salisbury steak with either like a starch, so mashed potatoes, rice will work. We're using actually mashed potatoes today. We got some greens and cornbread, so that's our pairing with our Salisbury steak. And again, appreciate you all for tuning in. Like, share, and subscribe, and peace, y'all.